Hi there, welcome to my views and news. Three news stories. Firstly, Joe Biden, the US president, has withdrawn from the race for the next president of the US. Secondly, a TPLF critic was abducted, tortured, then just thrown in a locality close to Addis Ababa. Who is behind this incident? Thirdly, Sudanese refugees in the Amhara region are going to be relocated to another site in the region because of attacks on the refugees, on the refugee camp in the region. Firstly, viewers, Joe Biden, the US president who was looking to secure another term, has quit the race. Joe Biden just a few minutes ago announced his withdrawal from the race for the next US president. He said this is in the best interest of his party and his country that he should withdraw. Joe Biden has been facing criticism from his party and from general public too, because the man is very old and he was seen behaving in a manner showing that he was not fully fit. On several occasions, he forgot what to say, what to do, when to leave, when to sit, when to stand. So he was becoming a sort of mockery of the electoral process. And the debate between Joe Biden and Donald Trump held a few days ago was a disaster, showing two elderly men just accusing each other. Joe Biden has withdrawn and he announced his support for Kamala Harris, the vice president of the US. Will Kamala Harris be able to secure the nomination of the Democrats? That remains to be seen, but Joe Biden announced his support for Kamala Harris. Trump was quick to respond to this news. Donald Trump, Republican nominee, said that it would be easier for him to beat Kamala Harris than Joe Biden. Donald Trump, it seems, is set to win in the election due to be held in November this year in the US. Trump will get sympathy vote too. A few days ago, he survived an assassination attempt. The killer tried to assassinate him, but the bullet just pierced through his right ear. He managed to survive. And his response to this assassination attempt, moments after he knew that a bullet had pierced his ear, his response was impressive. People liked the way he said, fight, fight, fight. So I think he's set to win. Overall, his ratings are better than that of Democrats. But let's see who the new Democrats candidate will be. Then maybe opinion polls will show their relative chances of winning the election. Joe Biden has withdrawn. Secondly, viewers, a TPLF critic was abducted from his home, tortured, brutally tortured, and then left, dumped in a locality near Addis Ababa. His name is Fisseha Gebremedin. Fisseha Gebremedin was very critical of the TPLF during the 2-year-long war, Tigray war, from November 2020 till 2022. The war went on, leading to around 500,000 casualties. Fisseha is a Tigrayan, and he asked Tigrayan mothers back then that they should not send their sons to join the war, to join the TPLF. He was a very staunch critic of the TPLF. This week, the man was abducted from his house located in Tulo Demto. Tulo Demto is in the outskirts of Addis Ababa, Ethiopian capital. Kidnapped from his home, tortured, brutally tortured, and thrown in a locality in Sululta. The man has shared his picture showing torture marks all over his body. He was brutally tortured. Who tortured him? We don't know. It's not that we are accusing TPLF, no. We're just letting you know that there is a background to Fisseha's affiliation, though he's a Tigrayan, but he's been critical of TPLF. No one knows who did that. It's the responsibility of security forces to investigate this incident. Obviously, the security forces can investigate. They can identify the criminals if they want to uncover the truth behind Fisseha Gebremedin's kidnapping and torture. By the way people are being killed in Ethiopia, the way opponents are being silenced, the way dissidents are being imprisoned, expelled from the country, such a small incident of kidnapping and torture maybe is not a big issue. We've seen people here put to death here. We've seen people here imprisoned, people here just killed in dozens. Some have fled Ethiopia. Ethiopian human rights record seeing no signs of any improvement. Why? Because security forces are above and beyond law. They're working as tools of the government to silence opposition, to silence dissent. That is why if big hands are behind the abduction and torture of Fisseha, you'll never know who abducted him. Let's see. Last years, Sudanese refugees in Ethiopia are going to be relocated to another site. The refugees entering Ethiopia from Sudan have been vulnerable to attacks by Amhara militia members. Amhara militia members stormed refugee camps, Koma refugee camp, Olala as well. Some refugees were killed too, some fled the camps, and some staged a protest on Sudan-Ethiopia border, demanding return to Sudan. Ethiopia's Refugee and Returnee Service and UN Refugee Agency confirmed attacks on Sudanese refugees in Ethiopia. Sudan military took up this issue with Ethiopian government, asking the Ethiopian government to protect Sudanese who have entered Ethiopia because of war in Sudan. Around 40,000 have entered Ethiopia so far, I think, since the start of war in Sudan last year. When Ethiopians took refuge in Sudan in 2021, 2022, after the breakout of war in northern Ethiopia, Sudanese were not found involved in attacks on Ethiopians. Rather, they protected Ethiopians. Ethiopian refugee camps in Sudan remained safe. But Sudan refugee camps in Ethiopia came under attacks by Amhara militia members. Now, a new refugee site is being established in the Amhara region. Aftit is the name of this site. To this site, refugees are going to be relocated from Kumar, etc. Around 12,000 are due to be relocated from Kumar to Aftit. By the way, the Kumar camp, the federal police protecting Kumar camp came under attack last week. I had a video on that. 9 federal police officials were killed in that attack, allegedly by Fano. So, police protecting refugees is not safe. How can refugees be protected? They're being relocated to another place in Amhara, which is away from conflict area. Let's see. By the way, Ethiopians in Sudan should also be protected. They are being imprisoned. In a video this morning, I told you that around 300 are being deported from Sudan's northern state. Hundreds are in prisons in Sudan. They're being accused of spying for the Rapid Support Force. That issue should also be raised by Ethiopian Abiy, who is mediating to end the war in Sudan. Thank you for watching.